Welcome into our 2021 UNA Soccer Preview Show as we head to the fourth and final year of this Division I transition. Chris Walker enters his 9th season at the helm of the UNA Soccer program. He features a team this season with 20 returnees from a season ago, including 9 players that started. Last year, the UNA Soccer program made the ASUN tournament for the second time in 3 years at the Division I level, and this year they returned 6 seniors, 3 of which played in the ASUN Tournament Championship match as true freshmen. They'll be leading a roster that features 6 additional freshmen, 9 sophomores, 5 of which started in matches as true freshmen back in the spring, and 6 juniors. This will be a special year for the UNA Soccer program as we enter the 25th anniversary of the UNA Soccer starting at the University of North Alabama. It'll be a big special year, lots of celebrations as the year goes on. September 12th, a home match at the UNA Soccer Complex will feature a UNA Soccer reunion. You won't want to miss all the great things happening with UNA Soccer this season. In this preview show, we'll chat with UNA head soccer coach Chris Walker. We'll get his thoughts on the upcoming campaign. We'll also talk with a couple of players in Morgan Ebert and Peyton Yates. We'll take a quick timeout. When we return, Chris Walker will join us.
My whole life has been about making an impact. Not just on the field, but in the world around me. My high school Spanish teacher helped me find my true calling to educate and serve others all over the world. I used to think the biggest college was the best place to start, but my search brought me to North Alabama. At UNA, my story matters, and so does my calling.
UNA head soccer coach Chris Walker joins us as we kick off this 2021 UNA Soccer Preview. And Coach Walker, here we are. You started back in 2013. Now you're in your 9th season as the head coach here at UNA. Second longest tenured soccer coach, second most wins in program history. How's it feel heading into your 9th year?
It's been fantastic. It's gone by so quick. I mean, it's crazy to think it's been 9 years, but it feels like just yesterday we moved over here in January and then just been here obviously ever since. It's a fantastic place. My family loves Florence. It's a great place to raise a family, and you know the girls make it that much better coming to work every day, and it's a fun environment to work in.
Let's talk about the UNA Soccer program and sort of where it's at now. 4 times in 5 years at the Division II level, you guided them into the postseason, including winning Gulf South Conference Championship one of those years. Now, 2 of the first 3 years at the Division I level, you guys have reached the postseason, the ASUN tournament, reaching the championship match in year 1. So UNA Soccer, the championship tradition really began towards the back end of the Division II level. But as we've progressed into the Division I era, how has the program sort of kept that tradition alive?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Obviously, we had a good place 9 years ago to build off of. They were successful then and moving forward. But no, it's always the non-conference schedule. We try and challenge ourselves as much as possible with just trying to play competitive teams that try and mirror some of the conference teams. And then obviously we pick out now we're in Division I, trying to go against a couple of those Power 5 schools that just show where we're at. It's like their measure stick. So just keep working at that, and then the goal is every year to get into a conference tournament. And in any sport, postseason, who knows what happens. You just got to get there and take it game by game at that point. So that's our goal at the start of every season, and then we just build on it from there.
Let's talk about the spring season. Last year it was crazy. Fall gets canceled. You don't know what's going to happen. You get the spring season. Then you get into spring, and week to week, again, the stress of not knowing. Players are testing. Players are trying to figure it all out as well. Then you guys make the ASUN tournament. You lose to the eventual champion in Liberty. I think they were the 4th seed during that run. But as you look back last year, you got 20 players back. How much did they grow up with everything they faced last season?
Oh, I mean, just dealing with the adversity last year, not just going to school, maybe on Classic, maybe online. You may not be in school this week. So just dealing with all that and then going on the road and all the testing, the masks and everything else requirements, they were fantastic. They were great to be with, and it made my job a lot easier with how they just rolled with the punches and got through it. Yeah, we got beat by Liberty in the conference tournament, but the league's so narrow. It's just little things change from game to game, and anyone can win on any given day. And we played them really close here at home, and then we took a 1-0 lead there. And then obviously they came out on top in that game, and I think they were the team that hit the hot spot running through the tournament and played really well. So it was exciting to see them win, and they deserved it. But you know, we're going to go rebuild and re-go again this year and see if we can get them again.
11 games in the spring, then the players get the off season. A lot of them went home during the summer. I know some of the players from Europe got to go home for the first time in a while, but now we're going into uncharted territory. playing in the spring, carrying over into the fall. Physicality-wise, what have you seen in the carryover?
Yeah, I think the one thing I might miss is the neck mask from the 30 degrees to the 95 degrees. So that was the one good thing that came from it. But no, the carryover, it was difficult because we had a couple of questions of a lot of the girls play summer soccer. They go home and play on the semi-pro teams and stuff like that. So it's, do they want to do that this summer? Do you want to play a full year round? And it's something we've all grown up with in England, playing year round, but it's really this year. So we encourage them to stay involved and try and get as much touches on the ball as possible. They came back in at a fairly decent level of where we can build off of moving forward into what hopefully is now a typical season. So we've had our 2 weeks of preseason, then we'll get into non-conference games and then move into the conference schedule towards the end of September.
In our next segment, we're going to talk about the roster, get the breakdown. But first, just give us the evaluation. Year 4 of the Division I transition, 4th Division I team. What's the expectation?
No, it's been exciting to get here. You know, we've worked hard. The administration's worked really hard getting us to year 4. It's exciting. I think we played from the day we played the first ever Division I game here. The excitement's still there. We're ready to finish off this year and then be a full-fledged Division I school moving forward. So we know we're still going to keep fighting. We'll take every game as it goes and hopefully get into the conference tournament and then take it game by game at that point.
We'll dive into the roster and get Coach Walker's thoughts on what the team looks like coming up next.
Championship action is when the ASUN is at its finest. That's why you'll want to visit asunphotos.com. ASUN Photos is present at every ASUN championship, capturing the action, including those must-have shots that you may have missed or want to save for a memory. We understand your passion, so when you want to relive those favorite moments, players, and special memories, start with the experts from asunphotos.com.
Let's talk about the UNA soccer roster with UNA head soccer coach Chris Walker. And Coach Walker, as we mentioned, 20 returnees, throw in the 6 freshmen. What's the competitiveness of camp been like so far?
It's been great. No, it's nice to get the 20 returners back just because they know what to expect. Now, with that as well, a good chunk of those don't know what to expect because their first year was the COVID year. So this is a true full preseason for the 10 or 11 that joined us last year. So it's nice just to get this good 2 weeks under our belts to really push them and work on the technical side, the tactical side, and just really get after it. But it's nice to have a good group of returners led by a heavy senior and junior class and then just move everyone along. And I think it just allows the freshmen to, you know, feel their way in and figure out where they fit and what their playing style is and stuff like that. So I think it just makes it a little bit easier for everybody.
Let's start in net and talk about Peyton Yates. Started 11 games as a true freshman in net. What's the growth been like for her, freshman to sophomore year?
Yeah, I just think the experience of playing at the college level, the speed of play, it's such a difference from a good high school level to a good club level, then up to, you know, the college level. So just seeing different types of stuff she's not seen before. So having a good year in goal, getting quite a bit of playing time her freshman year, hopefully that experience carries over and she'll have the competition with obviously Jordan and Peyton there with her as well. So it's nice just to get in that training environment and, you know, test themselves and just have a nice year of consistency from our goalkeepers.
Let's talk about the back line in front of her. You lose Kelsey Jones, who was a 3-year starter here at UNA, but that group playing in front of her, what is that going to look like?
Yeah, no, Kelsey was fantastic with us. She was did fantastic over her 3 years here, so it's sorry to see her go. But obviously she's moving on to grad school and doing great things. But no, we returned some fantastic players on our back line. Like you said, we returned 3 of the 4 starters, and then we also bring Morgan back in, who redshirted last year. So that's going to be a big plus to us, how athletic and her pace and just her overall competitiveness in absolutely everything we do in practice as well. So having that leadership back is going to be a huge step forward. And then just another year on for everybody else, another year of experience, another year of knowing what type of teams we're playing against and just being able to bring that leadership moving forward and then allowing some of the new ones to step in as well.
And of course, Kate Weissman returns, centerpiece there, midfield. Around her, what's it look like?
Yeah, no, she's been a fantastic player for us. Obviously, the experience she brings from playing with England and then obviously being with us for several years now. So that's great, her leadership, her talking, but all the other players that fit in around her and then some of the new ones in that midfield with whether it be Kira, Kat, Marlin, or whoever else, Lexi's in there as well. So we're going to look to build players around. I think it's going to give us a chance to be able to rotate. Now we're back in the fall where it's 95 degrees and not 35 degrees. Obviously on those Sunday games, we need to be able to rotate. And I think we've got the level of depth in the roster now to be able to do that as well. So we're looking forward to it.
Chloe Fell and Charlotte Kellett led the team with 2 goals each last season. Do you expect another balanced offensive approach?
Yeah, obviously we'd like to score a few more than that. Obviously we're going to play a few more games as well, so hopefully that goes that way. But yeah, I think we've got a few surprises. I don't want to give it all away straight away at the start of the year, and you never put too much pressure on any one person. But I think we've got a couple of new ones that'll come in and step up, and obviously the returners themselves, the forwards that have been there, we expect big things out of them. I mean, Charlotte, like I said, got 2 last year. We'd love to get a couple more on there, and Alice, and we're going to move a few players around slightly and get a few more front runners up there. But there's a couple of new freshmen, I think, that'll come in as well and compete for some playing time up there, and hopefully shake things up a little bit and give us again that depth in that forward position to be able to rotate and get a few goals.
You mentioned Kate Wiseman, Grace Linsing as well, 2 seniors.
Yeah.
They'll both be captains. What's it mean for them to get to wear that C?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I mean, Kate did it last year as well, so that leadership moving on. And Grace has been doing it, whether she's got the captain's armband or not. She just leads by example. She does fantastic in the classroom. She's a leader on the field. She's great. So between the 2 of them, it gives 2 different types of personalities for people to approach. They work well with us and the coaching staff, so it's been great there. Grace has obviously got a younger sister that's joined us this year, Hope. We're expecting good things out of her as well. So I think it just gives that freshman class a focal point of who they respect straight away as well. But they're 2 girls that have been here. They've earned their respect. They lead by example, and we couldn't have picked 2 better people.
Set the stage for the next segment. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Morgan Ebert, Peyton Yates, 2 players. Yeah. Coach, you got a roster full of just great personalities. Yeah. How do they all come together as one?
Oh, there's a lot of characters. There's 27 different personalities, and then obviously the coaching staff, there's 3 other different ones there as well. So it's a great group, and you'll see from talking to them the differences between them all. But that's part of what the enjoyment is. So we've got kids from all over the US, from California to Florida, and then all internationals as well. So just the cultures on the team is what I think makes it so enjoyable. They enjoy sitting on a bus for 3 hours and cracking jokes with each other and stuff. But when they step out across the white line onto the field, they're very competitive and they push to get the best out of each other. So we're looking forward to it.
Coming up next, we'll get to know a couple UNA soccer players a little better.
Follow your heart to North Alabama Medical Center, the area's only accredited chest pain center that opens blocked vessels when minutes matter. Our team of healthcare experts are equipped with the latest in medical technology to perform life-saving open heart surgery and neurosurgery. Turn to us for matters of the heart and stroke care too. North Alabama Medical Center, world-class heart and stroke care close to home.
Morgan Ebert joins us next in our UNA soccer preview show. In her 4th season at UNA, she's played and started in all 28 games that she's appeared in her career from Weldon Spring, Missouri. Morgan, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. You're coming off of an injury a season ago. You missed the 2020 spring. How's it feel to be back out there with your teammates?
It feels amazing. We actually got to play this last Sunday in an exhibition match, and my mom and I both cried afterwards because it was just so nice to be back on the field again. It was great.
Now, you didn't get to play in the spring, but you're still out there while the team's practicing, still out there during games. From that perspective, do you feel like you learned to see the game from sort of a coach's point of view?
Absolutely. You get to learn how players play a lot better because you're more observant and you take mental notes, and it's very nice to actually get that experience. It stinks being injured, but it's a good learning lesson for yourself.
What's the road back to the field been like for you?
It's been long and unfortunately boring just because all you can really do is do rehab, physical therapy, and then run, and then you really can't do contact until, I think it cleared till July 1st, so that was the only time I was able to do contact, but it was a great mental push to get back and work hard and come in fit and do my job. So
20 returnees on this year's squad.
Yes.
You're one of 6 seniors. Give us the feel for the camaraderie, the chemistry amongst this team with so much experience back.
It's honestly really nice to have all the experience back because we know each other so well. I myself, I know, am getting to know people better because I didn't get to travel with the team last year. So that's been fun to get to know everyone a little better. And all the talent coming in, the freshmen, I can't say there's any freshman, anyone else on the team who slacks off. We all put in a good effort, so it's a good team camaraderie.
Let's go back to your freshman year. You guys make it to the ASUN Tournament Championship. You played and started in that match. So now for you, now that you're a senior, how can you use that experience to sort of motivate the younger freshmen, the new players, to get back to that championship match?
I know for me, getting to the championship match, I felt a great sense of pride, not only in myself, but for my school and for my team. So just being able to expand to them that working hard does come with a reward, and that reward is felt. Like, there is a reward at the end of running, at the end of doing extra training sessions, and it's really rewarding.
All right, I want to talk about one of your assistant coaches, Holly Loud. This is the 25th anniversary of soccer at the University of North Alabama. Holly played at UNA, won a conference championship at UNA. Now she's coaching at UNA. For you as players, is it pretty cool to have an assistant who wore those purple jerseys just like you guys?
It is really cool, and she has a coaching style where you feel comfortable coming to her, asking questions. She has such a good knowledge of the game, and she likes to mentally challenge us with the drills she does, which a lot of coaches, I feel like, struggle with doing that. And she does it in a way to where you're both being physically and mentally challenged. So, yeah, it's really nice.
Give us some insight into the training to get ready for a soccer match. 90 minutes. You guys are running, not a lot of subs. What's the conditioning level like in June, July, August when it's nice and hot out?
It's hard to breathe, first of all, but what we've been doing is we'll run in the morning, we'll do more ball skills in the evening, throw in a couple of weight sessions. It's a lot on your body, so you have to make sure you rest and recover a lot, but it's really only 2 weeks, so it's really not terrible. You just have to keep telling yourself, this is for a game, I'm doing this for a purpose, I'm doing this for my team, and it's really motivating.
Last couple of things for you. Tell us about your major.
Criminal justice.
All right, your story into criminal justice.
Yes.
How did you get into that? What do you want to do with that?
With criminal justice, I got into it by watching Dateline, all those real crime TV shows when I was younger, and my mom liked watching them too, so that made it easier because you had a watching buddy. But I was between that and marine biology, but I figured with living in Missouri normally, criminal justice was definitely the way to go. It's hard to find a marine biology job anywhere, so that was just an easier decision for me.
Last thing for you, Morgan, your expectations for the team this upcoming season?
I expect us to make the conference championship, and I'm going to be optimistic and say we can win. I think we have the talent on the team. We have a deep bench. Everyone wants to succeed, and it's my last year, technically, but we don't know. So I'm just excited to go as far as we can. That's the goal.
Morgan, we can't wait to see how far you guys go. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Next up, we're talking with UNA sophomore goalkeeper Peyton Yates. She's coming off a season as a freshman where she started 11 games. She posted 53 saves in net with 1 shutout, originally from Melbourne, Florida. Peyton, thanks for joining us and talking some UNA soccer. First off, starting in net as a true freshman, did you expect that when you arrived on campus?
No. So Savannah, who is the 5th-year senior last year, I know she tore her ACL, but she told us at the end of the offseason, which was in the fall last year, that she was going to be practicing and playing with us. And definitely when I went home for Christmas break, definitely lit a fire under me. And I knew that nothing was guaranteed. That for sure that when I came back in for this spring season, that I was going to have to work harder than any of the other goalkeepers and make sure that even as a freshman, I established my relationship with the team and with my coaches. So no, I wasn't expecting that at all. And before the first game, the WKU game, I was so nervous. And as soon as I found out, I called my mom, and we were both like screaming on the phone, but I had to keep it quiet because I didn't want to be too excited. But yeah, it was super exciting.
And as you look back on that first season, starting 11 matches, how can you sum up your play?
For sure, my shot stopping, like you mentioned, it's my biggest strength as a goalkeeper. I'm super competitive. I don't like letting anybody score me, no matter what year they are, who they are. Like, I want to stop them. So I think I did my job in a lot of instances, and for having to, as a goalkeeper, direct the entire team when my 2 center backs, one was a junior and one was a senior, and having to tell them what to do, it was definitely an adjustment being the younger player. But, it was great communication. We got along great, and honestly, I couldn't have asked for a more challenging and better way to gain experience as a freshman.
Now, my broadcast partner for UNA soccer matches, Amy Butler-Bailey, she says goalies have to have a different kind of mindset. You got to be a little bit crazy to play, and that's Amy's words, not mine. Tell us about that goalie mindset, what it takes to play in between the goalposts.
Oh, we're absolutely insane. Anybody that throws their face in front of cleats, and I mean, Chloe Fell, one of our defenders, she's 6'3". There's girls like that out there who they want to hurt you. So you got to be a little bit of an adrenaline junkie and kind of want to sacrifice every limb to protect your teammates. But it's also very taxing because you're the one picking the ball out of the net. You're very much alone back there. Even though you're the last line of defense, you've got every teammate's back, but no one really has yours, figuratively and literally sometimes. So yeah, it's definitely different. If you read articles, they say it's one of the hardest positions in sports, and you just have to push through every mental block you have, because one mistake in a game costs you a goal, where in other positions, they can make a lot of mistakes and someone's there to protect them. So yeah, it's definitely, you gotta be a certain type of way for that.
Let's talk about your goalkeeper coach, Tom Halsall. He had a great playing career in Europe and college as well, but what has he done for you since you arrived on campus?
Oh, so much. He has given me confidence, which I've always struggled with that when I was in high school and club, that, nothing was good enough. And he is just such a positive person on the field, on the sideline. And even when he's giving criticism, it's always constructive. And I think he cares about not only the goalkeepers, but the players so much that everything that he says and everything that he coaches is to make you better for you and not for him. And I think in coaches, that's a really hard quality to find, where it's not about their ego and their pride and their team. It's about what he can do and what they can do for us. So he's just made me a better player. And he's just so knowledgeable, which he's very young, and a lot of goalkeeper coaches, if they're that age, aren't very knowledgeable in the game. And I grew up with a very knowledgeable coach. So to transition here and come with a coach that knows what he's talking about, has lived that experience, it's unbelievable. And I'm so grateful to have him here, because you don't get that everywhere. So, yeah.
All right, let's talk about the team. Give us some insight. You're in net, in practice, going up against players. Who's a player when they step up, if they're kicking the ball at you, you're thinking, oh man, I don't know if I'll be able to stop this
Chloe
one.
Fell. Her leg is, when she hits a ball, it's either going to hit you and it's going to leave a mark, or if it's not hitting you, it's going to go in. It's straight trajectory, right in the back of the net. If you ever watch her take a PK, I want to dive for it, but sometimes it just kind of goes past me and I'm like, oh, she shot it already. But absolutely, the way she hits a ball, it's just if she's in range, I'm a lot of praying and hoping involved in that.
Then an opposite end of that, friendly with your teammates. Is there anybody when they have the ball you're always thinking, oh, I can stop this one? Just having some fun.
I think that, so our captain, Kate Weissman, she finesses the ball, and I've gotten better at reading her. And honestly, it's either going to go up or 90, but the way it curves, I can always kind of read how it comes off her foot. And I feel like she's either going to put it right where I can't reach it, or she's putting it right where it's savable for me, especially because my speciality is definitely shot stopping. So she's definitely the most fun to go up against, because I feel like it's a lot of back and forth, and I'm very confident when it comes to being able to okay, yeah, I can get that, or it's like, oh, it's in top buckets.
For the record, I asked Tom this question, and he said nobody can score on you, on the team. So that's some great confidence.
I'm glad he said
from
that.
your coach. All right, tell us about the team. What are your expectations?
I think last year was not the results we wanted. I'm glad Morgan said that she wants us to win a championship. We have the talent to win a championship. I think if we can get organized and really create a communication throughout the entire lineup on the field, that we absolutely have the talent to go to the championship. And we're the underdogs this year, and I'm okay with that, because I love the pressure. I love the idea that no one has high expectations of us, because we're going to come in and make sure everyone has high expectations of us next year.
Peyton, last thing for you. Tell us about your major and what you want to do next.
So I'm majoring in history with a minor in sports management. I would like to go to law school after I graduate, and hopefully specialize in sports law, working on contracts, hopefully working with a professional sports team. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan.
That's great. Peyton, we're looking forward to seeing you in net for another exciting year.
Thank you.
Championship action is when the ASUN is at its finest. That's why you'll want to visit asunphotos.com. ASUN Photos is present at every ASUN championship, capturing the action, including those must-have shots that you may have missed or want to save for a memory. We understand your passion, so when you want to relive those favorite moments, players, and special memories, start with the experts from asunphotos.com.
We just heard from two players in senior Morgan Ebert and sophomore Peyton Yates. And Coach, they're both very entertaining. They both carry themselves very well. They both feel like seniors almost.
Yes, they're very entertaining to be around. Both of them, different personalities, both great people, work hard on the field, both fantastic in the classroom. So they're really good, well-rounded student athletes.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of UNA soccer here at the University of North Alabama. Coach, let's just talk about this for 1 second. 25 years. What does this mean for this program this year?
Oh, it's fantastic, I think, just for the program and women's soccer in general. But it's exciting. When Jeff told us it had been that, we didn't realize it had been that long. But it's nice to be part of that, the milestone type games and years. So we wanted to make it special, and we appreciate all the alumni that have reached out and still follow us, and we try and do our best to reach out, and hopefully we'll get back to doing alumni games once hopefully COVID's out the way and we can get on that way. But no, it's a special year, so we're looking forward to it.
September 12th, alumni reunion. For alumni watching, how can they get involved in that?
Yeah, we've created a Facebook page on there, and just trying to get any excitement and try and invite everyone in before the game, try for some lunch, and then hopefully try and get a good crowd out for the game and watch us play Austin Peay that day. Funnily enough, Austin Peay's coach used to be a graduate assistant over here, so I think it'll be a nice one for her. It just coincidentally worked out that way. So, but no, try and get keep in contact with as much as possible. But if they follow the Facebook group or reach out to myself, we'll get you in touch, give you all the details, and we can go from there.
25th anniversary. You have a great connection on your coaching staff to UNA history. Holly Loud, she's been here a couple years now, won a Gulf South Conference championship as a player, first in program history. What's it mean for this team, this program, to have a legacy like that, a Lion legend still involved?
No, we still joke with her every day. She leads I think the record books in the most minutes ever played for UNA, and I'll be surprised if anyone gets past it. So it's special to have her on there, and it's that connection to some of the older ones that played here with her as well. So it's nice to have that. She's a great role model for the girls, and nice to have her around. So it'll be a special year for her, and trying to get some of her old teammates back in as well.
And on the topic of coaching staff, Tom Halsall back as well as goalkeepers coach. What's it mean to just have that whole staff back for this season?
It's fantastic. He deals with the keepers, and they're, like you've seen, a whole different personality to themselves. So it's great to just have the three of us to work with, and then it makes us a well-rounded staff and just gives us three different people the girls can approach, and we can deal with everything that comes our way and prepare for games, prepare for practice. It's a good group.
Let's talk schedule. August 19th, you guys open up against Morehead State. Great schedule, a lot of regional opponents, a lot of in-state opponents. Big game against Kansas State as well. How does this non-conference schedule slate get you guys prepared for conference play?
Yeah, so like I said, we tried to compare a lot of the non-conference games to ASUN games, just to try and prepare ourselves as best as we possibly can for the physical, the technical, the challenging games that come in the ASUN games. So we want to ready to go game by game. Each one's different. We've seen some of the teams before that we've played in other past seasons, and then a couple of new ones like Morehead, Miami of Ohio, and Kansas State when we play up at Austin Peay. So we're excited for those few, but just game by game, ready for Morehead on the 19th, and then hopefully get back here on the 22nd and play Southern Illinois for our home opener.
Let's talk about ASUN play. Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville State, and Central Arkansas come in. The league has split up into divisions. Give us an outlook on what it's going to look like in terms of division play and how that will impact the postseason.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, just because it was difficult during the spring playing the same teams home and away, and then obviously being divided, not even seeing the Florida schools. So this year it'll be a little bit better. I think we play 9 out of the 11 that are in there. So it'll be exciting to see some of the new schools and just travel to new places, see new faces here. So it'll be super competitive again. We've brought in 3 really good schools that are all going to be challenging in women's soccer, and I'm sure in other sports as well. So, but again, it's just nice to see when we made the move from Division 2 to Division 1. That for me was the most exciting one, just getting out there and playing new teams. So being able to play Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, and Jacksonville State it'll be a great test this year.
We saw it last year. Liberty, the 4 seed, went on to win the conference tournament championship. You guys, year one, were the 6 seed, I believe, when you made that run to the conference championship, finishing as runner-up. Again, top to bottom, how do you expect the league to be in terms of competitiveness?
Oh, I mean, you've got historically the big teams that are in there, the Lipscombs, the Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, North Florida return a lot from their fantastic season they had in the spring. So there's no team that can be overlooked at all. So like you said, Liberty won it from the 4 spot last year. So every game's competitive. If you don't play well, you will get beat by someone. So hopefully we can give it our best in every one. And, I think everyone shoots for that spot in the conference tournament, and then hopefully we can move in from there.
Last thing for you, let's part with this. Parting shots, why should UNA fans be excited about the upcoming year?
It's exciting. After all the soccer that's been on this summer, the Euros, and then the Olympics, why not? Come out and watch. It's something different. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully it'll stay warm for most of our games and get a chance to come out and watch some good soccer.
Coach Walker, thanks for previewing the season with us.
Thank you.
Visit RoarLions.com for full schedules. Also, ticket information, soccer season tickets available. RoarLions.com. We'll see you this fall.